Welcome to the Kameron Show. I'm your friend Cameron Tyler, and I'm so happy you're here today. We're coming to you from Dude IDK Studios, and on this special New Year's edition of the Kameron Show, I am so happy to be welcoming today's guest friend, Marisol Jurado. She's kind of like me. She's done a lot of different stuff. And she is just so cool. And this is so crazy, but we went to the same high school. We have not seen each other in years and years and years. And this is exactly kind of why I started this podcast, is to ask people who I only see through the lens mostly of social media if we can sit down and have a conversation, because I'm curious about them and I think they're awesome, which is how I feel about you.
Thank you.
So welcome.
Thank you.
I'm going to start by asking you the same two questions I ask every guest.
Okay.
So the first question, Mari, is if you were to introduce yourself to someone who doesn't know you, which could be some of our friends at home, how would you introduce yourself in 10 words or less?
My name is Marisol, but you can call me Mari. I'm the owner of Migas Coffee. I'm the Barista Baddie.
The Barista Baddie. That wraps it up. That tells you everything you need to know.
I think that was 10 words.
Oh,
Who
that's
knows?
perfect. That's perfect. Okay, great. Well, we're going to talk about all the different hats that you wear or have worn. But the second question I want to ask before we start is, if you were to close your eyes and envision the aura in here, the aura that you're feeling today in this season, what color do you see?
I'm thinking orange, but I can also feel a blue for some reason. So I'm not sure. I feel both.
Orange and blue. And those are like diametrical opposites.
Orange is one of my favorite colors. I don't wear it often, but I
love the color
a part
orange.
of me. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw, I'm probably going to do this so much, but this is already a side tangent. I did a deep dive on you today.
Okay.
And I saw that
you... Gotta do your research.
I did my research. And I saw that you did one of those aura photos.
Oh, yeah. I've done a few, actually. Yeah.
The one I saw, it came out red.
Yes.
Did they tell you what that means?
So that one I did a few years ago, and I was going through it at the time. So it was very like red orange, and they said that I was in a big like planning phase of my life. So this is like a year before I had opened Migas, and they said that like I couldn't really see beyond where I was, and I'm a Taurus, so they also said it was very grounded energy.
Oh my gosh, so. I'm gonna sound like such a stalker, but I also learned that you're a Taurus today.
Yes, I'm a Taurus.
What is your most Taurus like feature, do you think? Or how do you most do you believe in that, or do you identify with it?
I think, well, my least liked trait of being a Taurus, but it's true. I'm very stubborn.
Okay.
I see it as both a flaw and a strength.
Oh, totally.
Stubborn in the strengths way is that like when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. Mm-hmm. And I can like dig my heels into like, I said I was going to do this. I'm committing to this. And I can just like stay true to that. But also stubborn in like when I'm wrong and I don't want to admit it. I'm like, no, it's my way, you know?
Dig your feet in. Dig your hooves in.
Yes, but on the mostly only positive side of a Taurus, I do like really bougie things. They say that Tauruses can be kind of like luxury forward. Mm-hmm. And there are some bougie aspects about me that I definitely am a true Taurus about.
Okay, I love that. Well, I'm a Leo, and I don't know how Leos and Tauruses are supposed to get along, but I've always gotten along very well with Tauruses.
I have a couple good Leo friends.
Okay.
Girls, though. Yeah.
Wow.
My head baddie in charge for the book club, she's a Leo. Yeah, and one of my best friends, Asia, is also a Leo.
It must be compatibility central, because, I don't think I've ever met a Taurus I didn't like. Well, a lot of the same traits,
easy to
though.
love.
Very strong-headed.
Yes.
Very ambitious.
Yeah.
Loyal, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right. So we have established you're the owner.
Yeah. I founded and I co-own Migas Coffee. Yeah. So I co-own it with my friend Alex.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to, before we get, I have so many things I want to ask you about because I'm curious and nosy. And she says I can ask her anything I want.
Yes.
But before I start asking questions to further introduce you to our friends at home, the other day, I'm friends with Maddie on Facebook, and she got tagged in this post by the Colorado Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And I literally screenshotted it because I was like, I'm going to literally read this on the podcast because it is amazing. Okay, so this post describes you as a visionary small business owner and a devoted mental health professional whose work is creating meaningful impact across Denver. She's a founder of Migas Coffee, a vibrant community-rooted cafe in the historic Five Points neighborhood, and a licensed marriage and family therapist with more than a decade of experience supporting individuals and families. First of all, big therapy stan here, so I already am obsessed. With 6 years as a licensed therapist, Marisol brings exceptional compassion, cultural awareness, and clinical expertise to every person she serves. Specializing in trauma, she is also a certified eye movement oh my God.
Hard word.
Desensitization and reprocessing therapist. And I want to talk to you about EMDR.
Okay.
Helping clients heal, process difficult experiences, and reclaim their sense of peace and personal power. In April of 2024, so about a little over a year and a half ago, Marisol expanded her impact by opening Migas Coffee, a warm and welcoming space built on her values of connection, culture, and care. The cafe quickly became a gathering place where community voices are celebrated, relationships are nurtured, and people feel seen. That is so much, and it is so iconic. Can I ask how old you are?
I'm 33.
That's amazing.
Big threes.
You are a baddie.
Yes, I am a baddie.
You use baddie a lot, which I am obsessed with because I feel like not enough people are owning their baddiness, I guess.
It's true. It's funny because we started Baddie's Hoop Club, and our most recent TikTok was like, "What makes you a baddie?" And we were asking people, and people were being shy. I'm like, "You're obviously a baddie. Like you're here for a reason. Something about this book club made you think like I belong here." But They had a hard time like vocalizing what made them a baddie.
What do you think made you into a baddie?
I grew up in a mostly women household, like my mom and dad, but it's 3 girls. And so I think just like all the feminine energy in my home is like my mom raised 3 divas, you know? So I feel like I was always a baddie, but I've definitely like stepped into it now that I'm an adult.
Okay. I love that. Okay. So talk to me about, first, let's talk about the coffee shop.
Okay.
You are in your early 30s and you're a founder and a co-owner of a very successful coffee shop in Denver. It's, first of all, anyone who's familiar with the business scene in Denver knows it is kind of hard to get a business off the ground, much less keep it going. Even for like a year and a half is like, I think, a long time.
Yeah.
That's really impressive to me. And even like, I've had a really wide variety of people on this show, but I haven't had a lot of like entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
And so I find it fascinating. I want to know how this coffee shop like came into existence.
Yeah. Well, I started loving coffee because I got sober.
Okay.
And so once I stopped drinking, I just kind of needed a different way to connect with people. So it just quickly became coffee. It was like very easy to say, like, let's grab a cup of coffee with people who wanted to get together. And I used to have a tagline. I'm sure you've seen it on my Instagram. It's like, if the latte's right, Maddie's there every night, which is like it's just like a rap quote. And so I think lattes and coffee just like quickly became my personality. And I was talking to a friend and he asked, like, you know, where I wanted to be in 5 and 10 years. And I'm like, one day I'm going to open a coffee shop. And it was the first time I had ever like said that. And he's like, oh, cool. Like, you should start that dream. And I'm like, yeah, you know, one day. And he kind of challenged me to figure it out sooner than later. And he's like, if you were to start a coffee shop, like, where would you start? And I'm like, I should probably learn to barista because I only know how to drink coffee. I don't know how to make coffee. And so at the time I was a licensed therapist and I got a part-time job as a barista. And like I started baristing, I think it was like end of July, early August. And by like before the end of August, I had an LLC ready to start a coffee shop. I was like, I'm doing this.
You are first of all, that's amazing to me that you were a therapist and then became a barista.
Yes, I love it. It's honestly, it's great. Being a
That is
barista is like the
amazing.
best job.
No, that was my first job. I was a Starbucks barista at the Green Mountain Safeway
Oh,
in
nice.
that little
It's so
tiny
fun.
kiosk.
I love making coffee.
There was something about, like, I have said, you know what, if I won the lottery, I honestly don't think I could just not work. And if I worked like a job and like could just have a job to have a job, I think I would be a barista again.
Yeah.
Like, I loved having regulars.
Yeah.
I love coffee, the smell. And like you, I mean, I was already so into coffee before quitting drinking, but I do drink a lot more now that I don't drink.
Yeah.
Like a lot more coffee, I mean.
Yeah.
I love that. You did that so fast.
Yeah, and I will say I think it comes a lot from both my parents. They're both entrepreneurs, and I think I've just always been unblocked to like if I wanted to start a business I could because my parents raised me on their business and like they
Yeah.
paid for my college through their business. So I was always expanded enough to know that like if I wanted to start a business that I could. And I think
Okay.
that's what helped me get to where I'm at.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that because for me, like, anytime that I've ever had the idea of like, oh, that'd be a cool business or that'd be a cool like little shop, I get stopped because I'm like, I wouldn't even know where to begin. Like, I can't
Yeah.
even comprehend that. And so that is really nice that you had kind of like, you could see what it looks like.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't hard for you to fathom.
Yeah.
And so how did you like how did you and Alex go into this together, and like how did you bring it to fruition once it was an LLC?
Yeah. So Alex and I have been friends for a long time, and Alex is a financial analyst with Charles Schwab, and he knows that my parents own a cleaning company, and he would always just randomly call me and be like, "Hey, just a reminder when your parents are ready to sell their business, like let me know. I want to buy it from them." And so I always think I had it like in the back of my head, like Alex wants to own businesses. Alex is also the most popular man I know. He knows everybody in Denver. He like grew up in Denver. His dad like coached in Denver, and he's just very well connected in Denver. And so I had called him and told him like, "Hey, I think I'm going to open a coffee shop. Do you want to open it with me?" And he was like, "Coffee?" And I think he was like a little taken aback initially. And he's like, "Sure, send me your business proposal." And I sent it to him because I had one like drafted up, and he called me back. He's like, "Oh, you're serious?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay." And so he was kind of in just right away. And I think when we first got started, I think Alex kind of envisioned himself more of kind of like the financial partner and just kind of like putting in money and kind of helping to fund the vision. And I think once we got started and we started creating our brand and like really understanding what Migas was about and what we were trying to create, he got really excited about it. And he was like co-creating with me, which was really cool. And he was all in, which was great. I think
amazing.
he and I build a really, really great team. Alex is like a very feisty Sagittarius.
Oh.
And he's just a lot. And like he can wow anybody. He's like the person that can sell like water to a fish, you know, like he loves talking to people. He's so good at socializing with people. And he's like big ideas, anything is possible. And I'm definitely like the grounded Taurus, and I'm like, hold on, we need the logistics, we need to figure this out. So I love our teamwork of him being like, we can do anything, and me being like, yes, but this is what the path there looks like.
Oh my God,
and
that is the perfect balance.
Yeah, it's been really great. And again, Alex and I have been friends for a long time. He was actually a lot closer to some of my other friends when I first met him. Now that we have a business together, we talk all the time because we have a lot of logistics to run through. But it's been honestly a really great partnership, and I feel really lucky that he believed in me and like trusted the vision of opening a coffee shop. And we're so focused on community. And again, because he knows so many people in Denver, I think that's always just been a core value of his. So we create a really great team with Migas, and we've had some really, really cool community impacts and community events, and we're really proud of it. We're excited to see where it grows.
I was gonna say, like, well, first of all, it was mentioned in the write-up, but also like when I did my little deep dive today on you and the coffee shop, I did recognize like, oh my God, community is a huge part of this. Food drives, Pilates, run clubs, organizations, like Be a Good Person, stuff like that. You have done a lot of like tie-ins and collaborations and supporting these kinds of organizations, and that's got to be really a nice thing to have as part of your mission.
Yeah.
Because it makes it bigger than just a little coffee shop.
Yeah. We always say it's a lot more than coffee. Like
It
coffee is just
clearly
like the tip
is.
of what Migas is. And again, I think community is just at the core of Alex and I. And I think that's what makes it so easy to align ourselves with other brands and community like partnerships. And I know community is a big buzzword, but I really do think we do a good job of community. Like, of course, we're selling a cup of coffee and there's like that profitable aspect of it, but also people are welcome to come to the space without purchasing a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And we really want people to feel like they can take up space, especially in 5 Points and like the neighborhood that we're in, for Black and brown people to like coexist in that space because it's been so greatly gentrified and so many Black and brown bodies have been pushed out of 5 Points that we really want to continue to create events that bring people back in.
I love that. Okay, this is another side tangent question. What is your go-to coffee order?
Well, of course, my favorite drink at Migas Coffee called the Barista Baddie.
The Barista Baddie.
It is a brown sugar lavender oat milk latte.
Oh my God, that sounds bomb.
Yeah, it's delicious.
So
I'm a latte girl through and through.
You are a latte girl.
If the latte's right, Baddie's there every night.
Oh my God, which is so crazy. So every once in a while I like a latte, but I am such a black coffee. But I also, maybe I wasn't a good barista. To this day, I cannot tell the difference between different kinds of coffee.
Yeah, I think that's Starbucks' fault.
Oh,
yeah.
You're probably right. You're probably right.
Like you go to Starbucks and you order a flat white, a cappuccino, and a latte, and they're all the same thing. Like it just doesn't make sense.
It all tastes the same. So everyone go to Migas.
Yes.
Quit going to Starbucks.
Come to Migas. Stop going to Starbucks. Please.
Yeah. Okay, wait. Another thing, because this is tied to the community aspect, and I don't know how incorporated or separate or half tied in it is to the bookshop. But talk to me about Baddie's Who Book Club.
Yeah, so Baddie's Who Book Club, we started it a year ago, which is so crazy because it has just blown up. And so my co-moderator, her name is Sada. I met her years ago. She was like a friend of an ex-boyfriend of mine. And she loved to read. I love to read. And we were like, oh, one day we should start a book club. And we had like talked about it. And she was one of the first people that I told, like, I'm going to open a coffee shop. And she's like, oh, cool. We'll host our book club there. I was like, great. And she... the first time we got coffee together, I had told her like, hey, let's grab a cup of coffee. And she was like, oh yeah, no problem. But I like don't really drink that much coffee. I'm more of what people call a matcha mommy. And I was like, great. And so we have a matcha mommy that's named after her at the coffee shop. So anyways, we opened the coffee shop in April. And then about a year ago, probably to the day, because it was right around Thanksgiving, we went to a DU basketball game because her girlfriend used to coach for that team. And while we were there, we're like, oh, we were going to call it Book Club Baddies. And we would always call each other Book Club Baddies. And I have another friend who I call that too. And we like try to create an Instagram page and it was taken. And we were like, okay, like we need Baddies in the name.
It has to
be. And so we kept kind of toying with it. And then we were like, oh, Baddie's Who Book Club that same night. She opens Instagram, creates a profile called Baddie's Who Book Club. And I think we announced it December 14th or something. And we posted about it. And like in less than a year, we've grown like 1,500 followers. Our average book club is like 35 to 45 people. And our biggest book club has been 70 people.
Oh
and
my God.
It's just so much bigger than we had envisioned it to be. We thought it would be like 12 of our friends that we had to be like, please come to read this book with us, like begging people. And I think we just kind of got lucky also that we started it at the beginning of the year. People were like, I want to read this year. And it just kind of like around new goals. We also saw that there's like a trend of like people are going to run clubs and book clubs at much higher rates instead of like going out to the bar and out to the clubs.
Yes, which I love.
And so we were just kind of like in that era. We found like a little group of baddies who want to read. And it's fun, it's light, and I think that's what really attracts people. It's mostly women-centered, like men are allowed. Any self-identifying baddie is allowed.
Any self-identifying baddie. I love that. If you identify as a baddie.
If you're a baddie, you're a baddie. What can we say?
Oh my God, I love that. I might have to do Baddies Who Book Club.
Yes, come.
Well, it is so funny because you say it's like, it was helpful that it was at the beginning of the year. I was in Old Town Arvada the other day with my cousin and we were walking by the library and I was like, you know what? I was not going to have a New Year's resolution this year. But my New Year's resolution, I think, is going to be to read at least one book every month. And I want to support libraries.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get the book from the library.
Nice.
So this just might be. How often do you read a new book in this club?
We read one book a month, so it's right along your goal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we meet every third Sunday of the month. Starts at 10. People like kind of get in, settled in, grab their cup of coffee. It's always hosted at Migas. And then we meet for like an hour and a half. We wrap up.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it's been great. We have a lot of fun. It's a lot of work though. Like I understand why other people are not starting book clubs, because it's a lot of work to coordinate like book clubs and what times we meet, and the amount of questions that we've gotten in the last year is insane. Just like people need to understand the logistics of how our book club runs. But it was like when we first started it, we were like every single day answering like what time, when, how often, when should I read the book? How do I get the book? When is the book announced? It was just like so much. And we were like, oh, there was just a lot of communication. So I think since we've done 11 book clubs, it'll be 12 in December. And now I think we kind of have found like the motion of it. And it's been great. Honestly, I've had so much fun with it. It feels very aligned of like creating community through reading and just like having a space where people can feel safe and they can do something that's not like going out and partying, and they can come and read a book and meet some new friends. And I think a lot of people have moved to Denver or have lived in Denver for a long time, and they're struggling to make like quality relationships.
Yes.
And so coming to the book club, it's like they already have something in common, right? Like they've already read the same book. They both like to read. And so it creates an opportunity for people to feel more connected to someone that they already have something in common with. And I think that's another big factor as to why people keep showing up.
Oh my God, that is so good.
It is Denver's best book club.
It is
I stand on that.
Best book club. Baddies Who Book Club. Go follow them on Instagram.
We follow everyone back.
They follow everyone back, and you can go. It's on the third Sunday of every month at 10.
Exactly.
So you don't even have to ask that question now. We're answering it for you.
Yes, we have a newsletter coming out next year. We're excited. It's been a lot of fun. We have like merch and little tote bags, and we've had a lot of fun with it. I'm excited to see what else comes from it.
A damn baddie. First of all, I think it's amazing, and this is inspiring to me because I find myself always wanting to make the excuse like, I just don't have time to read. I just don't have time to read, and it's so not true.
Yeah.
It's all about like where you decide to put your time, because I'm like, you are running a coffee shop and this very book club.
Yeah.
And you find time to read a book every month. Probably you might even read more than that. I don't know.
I used to give myself that same excuse. And like the amount of hours I spend on TikTok a day.
I know.
A day.
And that's
so I'm like, I can't say that I don't have time to read when my screen time literally says like I'm on TikTok for hours.
I know. I try not to look at it, but I should look at it. I have to own it.
Yeah. The nice thing about our book club too is that we choose books that are under 400 pages. I know that there's people who like want to read bigger books, and it's like, that's just not part of our book club. We want it to be more inclusive. And like we have moms in our groups. We have people who are working multiple jobs, entrepreneurs. Like, there's a lot that people have going on in their daily lives that we want it to feel more like attainable. And so we do like 400 pages or less. So
honestly, that you're selling it.
Yeah.
You're probably selling it to more than just me.
You're already a baddie. That's what I tell people all the time. Like, you already meet the criteria.
The prerequisite is met. Okay, let me ask you this. You've now done 11 of these. So do you have one from those 11 that's been your favorite so far?
Maybe. I can't remember exactly which one it was, which maybe is a good or bad thing. But there was like the first couple book clubs that we had were really stressful, and like the third book club we had, it was when 70 people showed up, and we were like way in over our heads. Mm-hmm. Like we had like stadium seating because people just kept showing up, and we just had to keep adding rows, and that one was really stressful. But I don't know, maybe it was like May or July. And we were just kind of in a flow. And I was like, okay, this doesn't feel stressful. It just feels like we're hanging out with friends, reading a book, catching up, discussing. Okay. And it was like, it just felt really natural.
What about
versus
the book?
The previous, I know. Oh, my favorite book?
Yeah, your favorite book out of the 11.
My favorite book, I had already read this book, but I reread The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
Oh my God, so like 10 people have told me to read this book.
It's so good, yes. And,
okay, I need to read this
it's
book.
Really cheap right now because it was super popular a few years ago. So I had read it a few years ago, but you can find it for like $4 somewhere. Yeah.
Oh.
We even had people, there's a book swap. This girl that hosts a band book swap, and she had like extra copies. So she came and like brought them to our book club, and like 3 people got a free book that month.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because we're connected in community.
You
So
are
that was probably my
connected.
favorite one. I didn't reread it, but I listened to it because I had already read it, and it was so fun to listen to.
Ooh.
Yeah, even the audiobook is great.
I was going to say that's also really nice because I am such a little treadmill girly that sometimes an audiobook is like the best way.
Yeah, do it on the audiobook. That one was really good.
And it's still reading. You can still go to book club if you listen to the audiobook.
Yes, we have a lot of audio baddies.
Audio baddies. Oh my God. I need a little button that says audio baddie. So, wow, this is great. This is aligning with my New Year's resolution. So I love this so far. Okay, let's talk about therapy now. Are you still a therapist?
Yes, I am, which is crazy.
The hell? Do you have the same 24 hours that I have?
No. I don't know. I think
You're working on Baddie time.
And I sleep 7 to 8 hours every night.
I
do not budge. My sleep score on Aura is 96 today, probably.
Honestly, that's the most impressive thing out of all of this.
Yes. Sleep is like the one thing that I cannot sacrifice. I do so much that I can't afford to not sleep. And I'm like up, not super early. Our coffee shop opens at 8. And so I'm not up crazy early, but like I need to be asleep by like 10:30, 11 to make sure I get my 8 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
That honestly is one of the most inspiring things I've heard all day. That's
the Aura Ring really helped me. This is not a plug for Aura Ring because I heard they're stealing our data, but it has helped me a lot, like to manage my sleep.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that's very impressive.
But yes, I am still a therapist. So I've been a therapist. That's what I went to school for. So like got my undergrad and then I went to grad school in San Diego in like 2014 to 2016. So I've been a therapist since. And I work for an organization called WellPower. It used to be called Denver Health Center of Denver. Mental Health Center of Denver. That was a jumble of words. And I've been there for almost 8 years, which is crazy. Yeah, it'll be 8 years. I'm part-time now. So I started full-time, but once I opened Migas, I switched to part-time.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, so mostly because I need health insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Because this country's a little broken in case everyone's out the loop the last few months.
Yeah, so I still do that. I primarily work with Spanish-speaking families. Mostly their parents speak Spanish, and the kids are usually bilingual. Some of them are monolingual Spanish speakers, and I do a lot of work with trauma, anxiety, and depression. And now I'm EMDR certified, and so I do a lot of EMDR, both with like the children and their families, but I also have some adjunct EMDR clients, which means that they're already seeing a therapist for like their basic needs, and then they're referred over to me, and I only do EMDR with them.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't even know you could separate that.
Yeah. Their other therapists will like kind of meet with them less frequently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in therapy, been with the same therapist for 8 years, and she has recently been talking to me about different options for, I don't know if it's the right thing to say leveling up, but trying something new.
Yeah.
I think because, there's so many things that, especially because I'm sure that you're like me, where you're kind of like an intellectualizer, where I'm like, any issue I have, I could tell you exactly why.
I can definitely be there.
I can tell you the whole thesis of why it's happening, but that doesn't necessarily fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And so recently, one of the things that she mentioned was EMDR.
Mm-hmm.
EMDR. And it seems so interesting to me. Can you talk a little bit about what it is?
Yeah, so it stands for eye movement desensitization reprocessing therapy, which you can do EMD, which is just like staring at a screen and like the light switches back and forth by yourself. You can't do the R without the therapist. Like a therapist has to help to reprocess.
Okay.
And it's primarily like most of the research is with trauma symptoms, and it's very effective to treat trauma. And essentially they use bilateral stimulation to help reprocess trauma memories. So the reason we use a light bar is because it switches from left to right and it activates different parts of your brain. And that's how you can desensitize trauma. We do it when we're sleeping. So like when you're in REM sleep, your eyes are actually like darting back and forth at night and it helps you feel better. That's why sometimes like you fall asleep and you're had like the worst day and the next day, nothing has changed, but you're like, I feel better. Because your brain is kind of doing, again, it's doing the EMD, like the eye movement desensitization, but you can't do the reprocessing without the therapist guiding you.
Oh my God. So like when people have their eyes, like when their eyes are moving in their sleep, that's what's happening?
Yeah, when they're doing REM sleep.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I always just thought that meant people were dreaming.
Yeah, I mean, I think they could be dreaming too.
That's
So, but
funny.
yeah, and so the woman who created EMDR, she had a bad day. She went on a walk and she was like, I feel better. I wonder why I feel better. And it was because she was moving the right and left side of her body. So any movement actually helps us to feel good.
Oh.
And so when we have trauma, like that trauma memory, it has this like a network in our brain and it connects all the synapses of trauma. That's why like certain smells trigger us, certain sounds, people, places. And so our brain like connects that and basically says like all these things are really scary. And when you do the bilateral simulation and you reprocess, it helps to detangle and to desensitize that trauma network. And so like those same triggers won't impact you as much as they used to, because when you hear or feel that trigger, it takes you right back to that trauma memory. But when you desensitize it, you can hear and feel those triggers again, but you won't think that you're in that trauma again of like, sexual assault, gun violence, domestic violence. It's just
God.
like it happened.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
And
so
that's a very good explanation. Thank you.
Yeah. I feel like a witch sometimes when I do EMDR with clients. Like it is magic.
That is crazy.
Yeah. I feel very lucky to be able to help people in that way. I've seen so much growth and like people who have avoided their trauma for decades. I've worked with some older clients who just like won't touch that memory, but they deal with the effects of that trauma every day. And it's so hard. And the other nice thing about EMDR is that it focuses on the target. And so a lot of people the way that they've reprocessed trauma is that they have to give you a whole narrative of what happened. And that's really re-traumatizing.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about EMDR, it still is not easy. It's not an easy thing to do, but you go into the trauma memory and you talk about the worst part. And then you do the bilateral simulation and you like go with wherever the client is going in that moment. So they don't have to tell you the whole story. Sometimes it's just like the worst part and they're focusing on the worst part. You do the bilateral simulation, it desensitizes it. And then the rest of the memory doesn't matter so much to them. It's just the worst part.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Our brains are so fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah,
wow.
It's cool. I feel very lucky to be able to help people in that way, especially the families that I work with. Most of them are on Medicaid.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just feel honored. A lot of them have gone through so much, and to be able to help them where others, they lack so many resources, to be able to provide that resource to them is incredible.
Oh, that makes me so happy that they're able to do that.
Yeah.
And that you're able to help them.
Yeah.
A baddie who's brilliant.
Yes.
Is going to fix brains. Oh my God.
Yes.
And I think it's so admirable that even though if you wanted to, I'm sure you would have no problem finding 40 hours of work to do at the coffee shop. But the fact that you're still doing both is amazing.
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah. Some days are draining. Like even today I was at the coffee shop. Today was really quiet at the coffee shop. Just like holiday weeks can be really quiet.
Yeah.
So I was there till 12, and then I saw a 2 o'clock client, a 4 o'clock client, and a 5 o'clock client. And I was supposed to have a 5, or I saw a 1, a 3, and a 4. I was supposed to see a 5. They canceled. And here I am.
That you honestly,
my 12-hour day.
I was gonna say thank you for making time for us, because geez Louise, and then it's gonna be almost your bedtime because you get your full 8 hours.
I know, I need to get going.
You're amazing. You are so amazing. I want to talk about your sobriety journey. I honestly don't really know anything about it except for, did you just pass a milestone?
Yeah, so I is this Taurus energy. I celebrate myself every month.
I noticed it was like an anniversary with a decimal in it, which I'm obsessed with.
Yes, it was like 7 years, 6 months. It was 7.5 years.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So every 19th, I don't always like do a big celebration, but especially on like in May is when my sober birthday, and then in November is like my half birthday. So I always do something on both of those days. So yeah, I'm 7.5 years sober, which is a long time for only being 33.
That is a really long time.
Yeah.
How did you decide to become sober? Because I think more and more we're seeing people, especially like people our age,
Yeah.
decide that they're going to cut alcohol out.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone does it for different reasons. Like for me, it wasn't that I necessarily like hit rock bottom or anything, but I got diagnosed with non-fatty liver, I don't even remember what it's called, fatty liver disease.
Okay.
And my doctor for like 3 years was like, you should really tone down your drinking.
Yeah.
But I could not, because I was just like, if I have one drink, I'm gonna have 16 because I don't feel anything with one. And after I have one, I'm like, I might as well have as many as I want. And so I like kept telling my doctor, like, I just feel like I'm gonna keep drinking as much as I'm drinking until one day I decide to stop. And I don't know why, but I know that's how it's gonna happen. And then sure enough, like one day I had a Sunday fun day that was actually no fun. It was like disgusting. And
Been there.
yeah, and it was like I blacked out. It was really gross. And on a Sunday, so I had to work the next day. And like that Monday, I woke up and I was just like, I don't think I can ever drink again. And then I just like didn't.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Oh, wow.
But like it just
That's
is
incredible.
It's so different for everybody.
Yeah, it is. Mine came after a very bad night. And it's interesting how people talk about like your addiction to alcohol and like your relationship with alcohol.
Yeah.
And there are some people who are addicted to alcohol. There are also other people who just have an unhealthy relationship with alcohol. There's like such a large spectrum of people's relationship with alcohol.
Totally.
Generally an unhealthy relationship.
Yeah.
And I used to be the blackout queen.
Mm.
I would like to the point where I would be disappointed if I didn't black out and I went out. Like I was blacking out every chance I got.
Oh,
and it was always very social. Like it was like I was going out with friends, I was going to the club. It was very rarely like an at home by myself kind of thing. And so I think that's why other people around me didn't really notice that I was having such an unhealthy night. Or an unhealthy relationship. It was just kind of like a night out with the girls, and Maddie just got a little too drunk. And I had a really good autopilot. So like I would always get home.
Oh, yeah.
I somehow was completely gone, and I was like, I'm ordering the Uber. And I would like order the Uber, and I was very like responsible, even though I was completely gone. Like Maddie was no longer with us.
Autopilot.
Yes.
I totally get that.
Blackout queen. Yeah, it was intense, but just generally over drinking, I was kind of the same. Like one drink was very quickly 10, and I could not handle my liquor, and it was just a lot. But I think there had been a handful of nights that were not the best nights, and I just kind of kept ignoring it to the point like my mom had even had a conversation with me. My mom had taken me to an AA meeting like about 6 months before I got sober.
Okay.
And I was so angry to be there. And my mom, like, she was like, my name is Soledad, and I love people who are alcoholics. And I was like, I'm Marisol. But I wasn't like, and I don't know if you've ever been to an AA meeting, but it's like, my name is Marisol, I'm an alcoholic. And I was like, I shouldn't be here. I do not belong in this room.
Oh my God.
And I did belong in that room. And again, I still kept drinking for like the next 6 months. My mom had another conversation with me, but essentially the very last night that I drank, I had a really bad fall. And I don't remember anything because I was blacked out. And I was at my friend Jamie's house, who also went to high school with us. And she was in the bathroom when I fell. So she's not really sure how it happened. But I think I was like leaning up against her counter. And I think my hand slipped and I smacked my head on her counter. Like blood everywhere, cracked my tooth.
My God,
it was horrible.
no.
I, again, do not remember any of this. I fall asleep. I guess Jamie was like, we should go to the hospital. Like, you haven't stopped bleeding. And I'm like, I'm fine. Like, again, I don't remember. But the next morning I wake up and it wasn't that bad, but I like kind of had like blood kind of all over me.
Yeah.
And I woke up, like went to the bathroom. I had an unread text from a friend and I was like, oh my God, I'm such a bad friend. I didn't text her back. I did see her. I don't remember this. And that's like what's on my mind, right? I have no idea that I fell. And I like walked to the bathroom and I look crazy.
Yeah, I bet.
And I'm screaming. I'm like, Jamie! And I'm just screams that thankfully I have never once screamed in that way ever. And I have not since.
Oh my God.
And it was just horrible. Screaming. And Jamie's like, I know. Like, she's trying to calm me down. And I call my sister, hysterically crying. And I'm like, I'm never drinking again. And screaming like into the phone because I'm like panicking.
Yeah.
And somehow it stuck. I feel very lucky that like it was a horrible fall. And I like dealt with the aftermath of that for a long time. But like I needed that wake up call.
That
And I
is,
think like God had tried to show me so many times prior and I wasn't listening. And he was like, my stubborn ways. He was like,
yeah.
okay, I'll have to show you in a way that you won't forget. And so, yeah, I stopped drinking. And it was a really crazy change for me at the time. Because again, I was like going out drinking with my friends every weekend and having a
Yeah.
lot of fun with them. I had just moved back to Colorado. I think I moved in February and I got sober in May. And so my friends, it took them a little while to adjust, but they were on board. Like, I think they didn't understand it at first, but they were very respectful. And yeah, it just stuck. I went to an AA meeting that first week that I got sober, and then I didn't go back until I got my 1-year chip. And I was like, this is not me. Like, I'm not supposed to be in these rooms. And I didn't really participate in AA until the next year when COVID hit, and I felt so isolated. And I was like, I'm not going to make it. And so I actually started joining more consistently, like on Zoom. And then eventually I got a sponsor. I worked through my steps, and it was really helpful. I don't really participate in AA anymore, but it really, really helped me when I needed it. And I'm very grateful that it's a free community resource for people, and that it's available essentially anywhere, anytime.
Yeah.
And even though I don't participate in AA, I always guide people to AA because it's helped so many people, and it did help me. I just don't follow the like I have to go to an AA meeting every so often to stay sober. I change a lot about my life to get and stay sober, and that's why I sleep 8 hours a night, and that's why
amazing.
I have a coffee shop, and that's why I drink so much water, and I spend time with friends, and I move my body, and I do a lot of other things that help me stay safe and stay healthy so that I don't have to drink.
Oh, damn. A baddie once again.
A baddie through and through.
A baddie through and through. No, I agree with you about AA, and also Al-Anon, which is for people who love alcoholics.
My mom loves Al-Anon.
Al-Anon,
she's a strong believer.
I have been an Al-Anon participant, and it is, like you said, it's an amazing, wonderful thing that it is in so many places, and that it's a free resource.
Yeah.
And the structure of it, and like you, I think that like I needed it for a certain amount of time, and then I didn't as much because I made changes that I needed to make, or understood what I needed to understand. But I'm so happy that it was there. Like, I totally get that.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, congrats.
Thank you.
On your 7.5 year. That's 3/4 of a decade. That is amazing.
Yeah.
So this was right after you turned 26 then?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 26 is young to give up drinking. So good for you.
Yeah. And trust me, I did plenty of drinking before that.
Yeah, you had already
I blacked out
prepaid for the rest of your life.
Yeah, my friends recently were like, I think I have one more blackout in me. And I was like, not me. They're like, well, not you.
I am done.com.
I've done enough blacking out. But, I had fun when I was drinking. But I still have fun now. And I'm very grateful for that, because I talk to a lot of people who consider sobriety or consider cutting back. And they're like, how do you go out and how do you socialize and how do you have fun? And it's so interesting. We've gotten into this culture where like that's what fun is like going out and drinking and getting drunk. And that we don't even know how, a lot of us don't know how to do fun without that.
100%. Like when I quit drinking, I think because I did not have the physical addiction. So like I didn't go through withdrawal or anything like that, but I found it so freaking hard to be in social situations and not like go get a vodka and club soda.
Yeah.
Or, whatever. And so that is the hardest part. But like once you learn how to have fun without it, that's like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And you can feel fulfilled in so many ways.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm clutching my little sugar-free Red Bull when I go out. I'm like, I still need like a little social drink.
Oh my God, that is how I was. Yeah. And I have to say, like, thank God for my friend Michael, because the first few times I was just like, I'm so anxious being at this bar right now and not drinking. Yeah. And he's like, maybe you just have to hold something, and it's like muscle memory. And
yes,
he got
I'm
me
like,
just like club soda.
And people avoid being like, can I get you something? Yes. Or like, don't you need a drink? And I'm like, I have my little drink.
Yeah, because that is the other thing I learned real quick when I quit drinking is other people want you to drink And I don't
so badly. We
so
have so
bad.
much peer pressure of like, you have to drink, and it's like, it's okay. We don't
Yeah.
have to. And I was guilty of that too when I was drinking.
Oh, I
I
totally did
insisted
it.
on other people drinking with me.
Oh, I know. I
Yeah.
was like, I was a main culprit, and now I'm just like, damn. So if you're listening and you drink, don't make anyone else drink. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Wow. You are a baddie through and through, like you said.
Yes,
I'm
it's
happy
true.
you know that, because you're right. Not enough people know when they're baddies.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing all of that.
Yeah.
I want to play a game now.
Okay.
It's that time in the show. We're going to play Sip, Savor, Spill.
Okay.
So the thing about this is there's 3 jars. Sip is like the least intense or deep, and then Savor, and then Spill are like deeper.
Okay.
Or like more existential sometimes.
Okay.
I don't know all the questions in them because I've had multiple people submit questions for them. But the way we play is this: it's totally up to the guest what order we do, who picks them out, who reads them, who answers first. So it's totally up to you. But this is the Savor jar, this is the Spill jar, and this is the Sip jar.
This is like level 1.
This is level 1.
Let's start there.
You want to start? Okay. You
Okay.
pick it
Am
out.
I asking you the question?
Well, you can read it, and we're both going to answer it.
Oh, we're both
but
answering
you can
it.
choose who goes
okay,
first. So, like,
perfect.
if you have something, great.
Okay. What was your first concert, and who did you go with? You go first.
My first concert, crazy enough, I didn't go to a concert till I was 18, and it was Lady Gaga because I'm so gay. And I went with my friends Mariah and Amy, and it was at what was the Pepsi Center, now Ballerina, and it was the Monster Ball.
Oh, nice.
And it was amazing.
It's still the Pepsi Center to me.
I still call it the Pepsi Center, and I
Same.
hate when people correct me.
Yeah.
But I was just scared you were going to correct me, so I did it preemptively. But I agree, it is the Pepsi Center.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's like true Denver.
Yeah,
locals,
that's how you know we're from here. Exactly.
I think mine was, gosh, I don't even know what it's called. I feel like you're going to remember, and I'm not. I went with my boyfriend at the time. It's like that big, I was like 15 or 16.
Mm-hmm.
That it was at like Mile High. It's like a big band.
Like Warp Tour?
Yes, Vans
You
Warp
went to
Tour.
Warp
I know,
Tour?
very unlike me.
I was gonna
It was
say.
clearly my boyfriend's influence at the time. He was a white boy. Yeah, I went to that, and I saw Katy Perry there. Like when
Oh,
she
yeah, I
was
forgot.
like really small, and
Yeah.
like 303 was there.
Honestly, if you were gonna go to Warp Tour, that's probably the time to go.
Yeah. There was a couple of other people that I knew, but I didn't know very many people. But
That is
that was
not
my
what
first
I
one.
expected
But
you to say.
my second one was a Drake concert.
Okay.
And I was like 17, almost 18. And it
No.
was really cool. I wish that was my first one. So I needed to say that. Shameless plug. I'm a Drake fan.
You love Drake.
I love Drake.
Okay.
I know. The Kendrick Lamar drama cannot stop a true Drake fan.
I think what gets me is I was a Degrassi stan, and I always imagine Drake in a wheelchair because he was because he got shot on Degrassi, Aubrey Graham, and
You couldn't unsee it.
I can't unsee it to this day sometimes, especially because do you remember like a few years ago he did that Degrassi throwback music video for I'm Upset? He did a music video where he went back to the school where they shot Degrassi, and he got a whole bunch of Degrassi actors, and they did a reunion,
Okay.
but as a music video where it's a class reunion. And now I'm like, well, now I just know what he would be as an adult. So now I really think of him as Jimmy Brooks.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, because, okay,
I didn't have cable, so I didn't watch
Oh,
Degrassi.
you didn't watch Degrassi? Honestly, good. It took a lot of my time. That's just not what I expected you to say, but I
know
love that.
I'm like, I couldn't even remember the name. I'm glad. I'm like, I think you're gonna know the name, and I'm not.
Yeah, because like my sister went to that. I'm like, wow, I did not think. So you generally, how would you describe your taste in music?
I mostly like rap and hip hop. I'm currently obsessed with Olivia Dean. Wow.
Ooh.
The album that she came out with,
Okay.
it's perfection. It's so good. I got tickets to her show in August, or I think it's in July here. All her tickets got sold out.
Olivia Dean.
Yeah. She sings The Man I Need.
Okay. I'm going to listen to that on the way home.
Oh, it's so good. It's only 34 minutes long.
Oh.
Which I'm like, what are you going to sing at the concert? 34 minutes?
Is it R&B?
Yeah, it's very like soul. She's from the UK. She went to like the same
Oh.
school that Adele went to. So I heard. This is all hearsay.
Oh.
But she's a great lyricist. But it's very like funky soul. But yeah, I would say it's more on the R&B side.
Okay.
Yeah. really cool.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's incredible. Like, I think it's like a perfectly created album. The last song is like, it's okay. But the rest of it, so good.
I feel like you would be a spectacular critic.
I don't know. Maybe.
Girl, I have a feeling you have a lot of opinions about stuff.
I do have opinions, but I don't know that they're...
If you had a podcast, I would listen to it.
Thank you.
I have to say.
Don't get me started. I have some free time. I'm just kidding.
No, it's almost your bedtime. We better move to the SAVOR question. Now I'm like, we got to get this girl home to bed. All right. Oh, no, we don't want to do this one yet, right? You want to
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
I'll let you pick.
Oh, I'm going to
And then you can decide who starts.
Okay, I'm going to pick a question without looking at it from the SAVOR jar. Okay. The question I got is, what is one relationship that taught you something unexpected? You answer first.
Me first?
Yeah. Any relationship, any kind of relationship that taught you something unexpected.
What comes to mind is a friend that I had in college. She and I were college roommates. And it was when I was living in San Diego. Keep in mind, these are my drinking days. So yes. I was like going through it at the time. I was going through I was in a really unhealthy relationship, but she was like a staple in my life at the time. Like, she kept me grounded. Like, she made sure I was going to class. Like, you know, we did everything together because we both were not from San Diego. Like, we were living together. And eventually I moved back. I eventually get sober. But it was like right before COVID hit, and she didn't want to be my friend anymore. And I was very taken aback by this. And I was like, what do you mean? And she, at first it kind of started as like ignoring me. And then eventually we had a conversation, and she was like, hey, you know, like, I think we've just kind of grown apart, and I don't feel as motivated to like maintain this friendship. And I was heartbroken about it. Yeah. And I was like, what? And I haven't had a lot of friendship breakups. I've had other friendship breakups, but it was like very toxic, and it was like, it was time. But I think it was really hard for me to accept it at the time. And again, she was like such a like grounding person in my life when I was like really going through it. Yeah. And that's probably what made her be like, thank God I don't have to deal with her anymore. You know, like I was a lot. And it was just hard, but I think it just taught me that like people are in your life for reasons and seasons sometimes. Yeah. And as hard as it is for me to accept that like sometimes it was just for that. And like I can grow with that person, I can be with that person, but that doesn't mean that this person has to stay in my life forever. And I think it's helped me with like, you know, breakups that I've gone through too, because I think I get really attached to a person and I'm like, why? You know, why isn't this working? Yeah. And I feel really grateful for like all of the previous like romantic relationships that I've had. And I have like such a good core group of friendships. I'm very, very grateful. I always say that I'm rich. Like, yeah. I have the most amazing people in my life. And sometimes people just are not there forever. Even if they were like really core people in my life at the time, like sometimes they're just there to support me in that that path of my life and not forever. And so just kind of like learning to lean into that.
That is such a good one.
Yeah. Wait, it was really hard at the time. Like I was so heartbroken to lose that friendship.
I'm heartbroken for you. Did this happen before you quit drinking or after?
We like broke up after I got sober.
Really? Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. But again, like when she and I were living together was like when I was drinking a lot and I was always blacking out. And so like I was living with her. So she was like, let's get you home. Yeah. And so I'm sure like I put her through a lot of turmoil of like getting her home. And we were just very different people. Like she's very type A, like everything's super organized. And I'm like messy ADHD brain, scatterbrain. Totally. And so I think there was just ways that we manage life differently. And I think maybe I kind of felt like a chore to her sometimes. Like we had a really great relationship at the time, but as we like didn't have to be in each other's lives as much, I think she felt like a little bit of relief of like, oh, thank God I don't have to deal with her anymore. You know? And I think she like loved me while we were friends, and I think we had a really genuine relationship when we were in like that friendship and like living together, but we were just different. And we grew apart. But... That's like thing. I saw her at a wedding. One of our mutual friends got married last year, and I was like really nervous to see her. And she was very kind, she's never been mean to me. Like she's very kind and polite. And she even like sent me a message afterwards, was like, hey, it was really nice to see you. Like, I'm happy that you're doing well. And even then, I think we were both kind of like, yeah, it was nice, but like, and it's like never going to be what it was, and that's okay.
That is
Like,
okay.
yeah,
Ugh, I feel that like in the pit of my stomach because
yeah,
I think that is a lesson that we all have to learn. And unfortunately, the only way to learn that lesson is to lose a person that you're like, wait, this sucks. This
I
sucks. This
know.
sucks so bad.
Yeah.
And then, like, you don't learn the lesson right away. You come to learn it
Yes.
through going through that.
Yeah, you got to go through the grief first.
Oh, it just sucks so bad.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, and I'm happy from what you learned from it
Yeah.
because it is such a true thing. Like I remember when I first heard that phrase, everyone's in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get that for a long time, but once you learn it, you learn it.
Yeah.
And it kind of is nice too because then sometimes when you have to leave a relationship, you also get the benefit of having that knowledge of like,
Yeah.
this doesn't mean I don't care about this person. This doesn't mean that they weren't special to me, but it just means we're not compatible or
Yeah.
whatever.
We're on different paths.
We're on different paths. Um, what is one relationship that's taught you something unexpected? I will also let this person go unnamed, which I noticed you did, which I think is good. Um, I have a friend who I care about very much who lives with an addiction. And this is the reason why I went to Al Anon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and this friend has taught me a lot of lessons in the period in which we've been friends. But in learning how to embrace the whole of who this person is, and it's taken a lot of therapy on my part,
Yeah.
especially because I'm the son of an addict. So a lot of the behaviors and stuff, and a lot of things like excuses could be really triggering, or I don't really like the word triggering, so I sometimes use the word activating
Mm.
with my therapist.
Yeah. I
Um,
used it a lot earlier, so apologies.
triggering?
Yeah.
No. I just for me, it's just
Yeah.
like a weird thing, but um, I had to learn. Okay, I'm just gonna say like the way that this really happened and just be very frank about it. Essentially, I came to realize that because I am the son of an addict, I grew up with this deep rooted belief. And by the way, this is kind of what the EMDR conversation stemmed from. Came up with this really deep rooted belief of like, well, my dad is an addict and he knows that his addiction, like he cognitively knows that his addiction is breaking our family apart,
Mm-hmm.
and yet he still does this behavior. So this must mean that his addiction equals I am not worth
Yeah.
saving our family or whatever, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like the way my therapist puts it is like trauma always gives you some kind of negative belief. And that for me is like I'm unlovable because my dad is an addict. And so with this friend, I subconsciously started just like assigning meaning to his addiction about
Oh.
me,
Mm-hmm.
of like, well, if you continue being an addict, that means that I am unlovable. And it's still, even to be honest, a work in progress, but it's a lesson that sucks, and I'm really happy to be learning
Yeah.
because it is kind of that untangling that you were talking about. And maybe I
Mm-hmm.
will have to pursue EMDR, or another option might be, ketamine assisted therapy. Like there's different ways to do that detangling, but trying to do the work is tough, and I think really worth it
Yeah.
because those negative beliefs about yourself, um, it's so easy to project those onto other people
Yeah.
when really it's like,
And they're
yeah.
hard to carry.
And they're hard to, yeah, it's hard to have
Yeah.
that I'm 34 years old. And so, like, yeah, I do think about that too. Like, so
Yeah.
if this deep rooted belief is just like becoming activated in me now, that means it's been in there this whole time. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy
Mm-hmm.
what's in the subconscious.
Yeah.
So although the situation could be tough, obviously, I'm grateful for the lesson. And I'm grateful because in working through this, I can also learn how to love this friend for who they are instead of like who I want them to be.
Yeah.
And understand that certain things, like, it's so hard because I'm such a Leo and I think everything is about me. So I'm like, wait a minute, maybe if they have
everything
this,
revolves around you.
yeah, maybe their thing is just their thing and it doesn't mean
like
anything
yourself.
about me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say that.
Okay.
Can you believe that wasn't even our deepest one?
Uh-oh.
Okay, we have one more question before we go today. All right, I think you should pick it. Okay.
I'm scared.
But you can decide who goes first.
Oh, I got 2.
Oh.
I'm going to try again.
Oh, she's just going to get a whole new one.
Okay.
Oh,
this isn't that bad.
Oh,
well,
really?
Yours might be harder than... Oh, well, it depends what it says. Describe yourself with one word for each letter in your first name.
Oh, wait, I love that. I have never seen that question. Okay, great. You go first. Unless you want me to go first. It's your choice.
I can try to go first. Okay, M.
And you have to do Marisol.
I know. I was gonna say mine isn't that bad because I was thinking Mari, and then I was like, he's gonna make me do my full name.
Yeah, because then we both have 7 letters.
Okay. M I think would be for like Mary. I'm very happy. Just like I'm a very merry girl. I am. It's true.
She's the merry Baddie.
A is for ambitious. I'm very ambitious.
Hell yeah.
R is for resilient. I is for intelligent because I'm smart as hell.
Yeah, you are. Shit.
S is for stubborn.
Yeah, you are.
O, I can't believe I don't have a B in my name. O is for... Dang, that one's hard.
God, it's hard to come up with an O word. I'm like trying to think of an O word, like an adjective that starts with an O.
I'm going to have to say, obviously a baddie.
Obviously a baddie. No, that's good. You deserve that.
I need the B in there somehow.
Yeah, you deserve that.
Okay, and then L is probably for loyal.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
You have a K in your name.
Okay, I will say K is for kind.
Oh, beautiful.
And I have said a lot of times, kind and nice aren't the same thing. I'm not always nice, but I try to always be kind.
Okay, fair.
A, I'm not gonna steal yours, so I will say assertive.
Oh, okay.
M, I love that you said Mary, by the way. I'm still thinking like the Mary Baddie should be a Christmas book. For M, I'm going to say, oh God, I'm only thinking of bad words. I want to think of a good word. I would say magnetic.
Oh, okay. I've
attracted a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
And the bad stuff all ended up being lessons, so it's fine. E, I will say energetic because I'm bad about sleeping. I am like the Energizer Bunny and not in a good way. Like I sleep like 4 hours a night. It's naughty.
4? I could never.
4. I know
I could never.
If I were sleeping 8 hours, man, my brain would probably be so much better off. R. I'm not gonna say resilient, even though I'm
glad I went first.
I know. Now I'm like, damn, I should have gone first. Like, what's another R word that I would use to describe myself? I would say reliable.
That's a good one. I would have used that too. I just didn't come to mind, but that's a good word.
Because like, if you're one of my people, you can count on me.
Yeah.
And that's because I couldn't do loyal like you did. So reliable will have to do. O.
Oh, you have an O.
Oh, okay. Because I thought about this after. I'm gonna say honorary. I can be pretty honorary. Okay. I can be a brat for sure. And N. Well, I know I can't say nice, but I would say. God, it's hard to think of a word. And the word narrow keeps coming to mind, but I'm not narrow. I don't know why. I can't think of another word. Like, what's another word that starts with N that's like a good thing?
You said you were nosy earlier.
Honestly, nosy is great. I have a whole podcast.
It doesn't have to be bad.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing. To be being nosy is good because at least it means I'm curious, which means I care.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm nosy. I'm kind, assertive, magnetic, energetic, reliable, ornery, and nosy.
Beautiful.
Oh my
You're
God.
Kameron.
Let me see if I can remember yours. You were merry, ambitious, resilient.
Uh-huh.
I. What did you say for I? Intelligence. Oh yeah, because you're so smart. Yes. S.
My Taurus self.
Oh, stubborn. Oh, obviously a baddie. See, and that ended up being the most memorable one. And L is loyal. Wow, that sums it up. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me and letting me share about myself.
Oh my God, thank you for sharing about yourself. I am always just like stunned that I can reach out to people and just be like, do you want to come talk to me? And that they actually say yes is like honestly such a gift. And so I'm just really grateful and thankful that you took the time, especially with the limited amount of hours that you have in a day. Is there anything you'd like to leave our friends at home with on our special New Year's Eve episode to go into the new year?
Come to Migas Coffee.
Come
be a baddie.
Now that is an entrepreneur. Oh my God.
I'm going to plug myself every time.
Go to Migas and follow Baddies Who Book Club. Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And friends at home, I'm going to say for the last time in 2025, live your best life. Don't be a dick. I love you. Goodbye.